All right. Cool. Be a nice little intimate class tonight.
Yeah, I need all the attention I can get.
Sure. What's your name?
John.
Michael. Nice to meet you, John. What brings you in tonight, John?
I've been coming a lot, and
Nice.
I don't know. I don't think I've been in one of your classes yet, but I've been with Dan a couple of times.
Okay. Cool.
In recent past, and yeah, I'm just enjoying these Thursday night sort of you know ways to help me learn to meditate.
Yeah.
Which is like, so I'm just trying all the different things, and then that's helping me figure out my way or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So some I'm doing Thursdays, and I come on a bunch of other days too with Jeff and all that kind of thing.
Okay. Great. Nice. And did you meditate before coming here?
Not consciously. I mean,
Nice.
I was a big like deep breaths guy, like
Sure.
some mindfulness, So
Yeah.
yeah, some attempts at it, not nearly frequently enough.
Sure. Sure.
On occasion, but
Cool.
I've always been interested in it, that's for sure,
Mm.
for a long time. So it's just finally getting around to it. Better late than never.
Well, the Buddha used to say practice is present moment facing forward, right? All you got is now.
That's it.
Welcome.
Hey.
And welcome. Hi. And welcome to anybody who's online. If you're here with us, feel free to drop your name into the chat so we know you're with us. Welcome. Come on in, take a seat wherever you like. Hopefully you can hear me okay. If you can't, put something into the chat. I will try and speak up as much as possible, but I am recovering from being a little sick. So, yeah, tonight I'm going to be being compassionate with my vocal cords too. So, yeah, cool. Well, welcome. Tonight is Thursday, which means it's Tibetan night at the Dharma Bum Temple. And we're going to do a Tonglen practice. I'll explain what that means in a second. If you know what that means, awesome. If you have no idea what that means, even better. My name is Michael. I have been practicing lots of forms of Buddhism, but Tibetan Buddhism for just over 2 decades now. And I had the opportunity to learn this practice in Nepal with some of my teachers. And practice it with a couple of other folks as well. Is this anybody's first time at Dharma Bums? No? Seasoned vets, all of us? Nice. That's what I like to see. Anybody's first time practicing Tonglen? Okay, nice. My guess is you've done some version of this before, but maybe not this version of it. So we'll practice and do something a little bit different. I'm guessing then you have practiced Tonglen before?
A long time ago.
A long time ago. Okay, cool. I will not ask how long. A while ago. That's great. Okay. So the Tonglen practice comes from a Tibetan text called the Lojong, which literally means mind training, right? This is an exercise book for your mind. And the cool thing about the Lojong was that it, instead of trying to make these really long diatribes about here's what the mind is and here's how it's going to work and all of these different components of it, they were just these short, pithy little statements, right? It's kind of this idea of like a little pocketbook that you'd be able to pull out and like, oh, right, that's how I'm supposed to live my life, right? And so this one, Tonglen, is specifically about compassion. So before we dive in, I'd love if you could just take a second. You can keep your eyes open if you want. You can close them if it's helpful. And just think of a time where you witnessed compassion. It could be when you received compassion. It could be when you were compassionate to somebody else. Maybe you witnessed somebody else being compassionate to somebody. I want you to just call that to mind. And as you witness this again, as you bring it back to your mind, do you notice anything happening in your body? Any quality of being starting to arise? Again, as you see this person or maybe yourself really being with this other person's suffering. What does that bring up for you? All right, and if your eyes were closed, you can open them up again. We're going to do a longer meditation soon enough, I promise. But I'm interested because compassion can be, it can be tricky for people. So I'm interested, what did you picture? What did it bring up for you? What was the quality that you noticed?
I thought of my daughter when she was young, down by the bay along the boardwalk. There was, a distressed kid around her age. And my daughter Val, saw that she was upset and went over to her and put her arm around her. And just sort of like calmed her down. Made me feel well.
Yeah. Wow.
Good feeling.
I'll bet.
Warm. Yeah.
What an amazing story. How old was your daughter? Wisdom from the mouth of babes.
Of course.
Yeah. That is such a wonderful example. And I'm going to come back to that in a second when we talk. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. And what a gift for you to be able to witness that. Yeah.
Yeah, be able to appreciate it, see it.
Anybody else? You don't have to share. I'm not going to call you out. Yeah.
It was a real small moment, but I was with somebody at the coffee shop and they left their phone in the bathroom. And somebody came and brought it out, hey, can you have it?
Yeah.
So it wasn't a giant thing, but that almost made it even nicer.
Yeah. Yeah. This is like random act of kindness, right? Yeah. That's beautiful. So I'm glad that we have some reference points. Did anybody notice any qualities that came up in them as they were thinking about, back to the random act of kindness or watching this beautiful scene with their daughter? Any quality or way of being? I know sometimes for me, can feel like a warmth in my chest. It can feel sort of like a magnet towards that other person, just this real caring, wanting to be with, right? But it's different for everybody. And however you experience that is perfect. Yeah. So what is compassion, really? Literally, the Latin means to feel with, right? And one of my teachers likes to say, compassion is when your heart is vibrating with the suffering of another, which I really like, right? The most important part about compassion practice is being able to look at suffering, being able to witness somebody's pain and not turn away. Because it's so easy, right? And we live in a world where we're constantly looking away from pain, right? When's the last time you felt uncomfortable and then 2 seconds later you found yourself scrolling, right? We all do it. It's so easy. It's, these things are literally manufactured to keep us on the dopamine treadmill, right? But there's another way of being. And that's what this mind training, this Lojong Tonglen is trying to teach us, which is to look at suffering and not turn away. Now, there's a lot of ways to teach this, but I'm going to try and make it as simple as possible tonight, which is really, instead of doing like 4 steps or 5 steps or 3 steps or the breath and the visualization, we're going to do 1 step. 1 step, which is you are going to find the thing that hurts and just be with it. Not look away. And we're going to start with ourselves. We're going to do a real simple body scan. So we're going to start at the top of our head and go down. And you're just going to notice what you feel in your body. And maybe you feel like me, you've been doing this all day, so you like feel a little tension back here, or maybe you feel something in your lower back, or like maybe it's a little cold, or maybe it's a little too hot, whatever. It can be the smallest thing. Whatever that discomfort is, you're just going to be with it. For me, it's sometimes helpful to have some phrases to repeat. So you might say something like, I see you, I'm with you, I'm not going anywhere, I see how it's hard for you, right? Something. Whatever you find, because the most important thing is that it resonates with you. This sense of unwavering dedication, right? I'm sure we've all experienced that or watched that, even if it was a 2-year-old, right? Who's there with that person saying, I'm not going anywhere. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. Right? So that's all we're going to do. 1 step. Find the pain and be with it. Try not to look away. Now, last disclaimer. The mind loves to look away and get distracted, okay? The mind thinks that's what it does. So if you find yourself all of a sudden way over here, squirrel, something else pops up and you're paying attention to that, great. Can you turn compassion towards the distracted mind? And then when everything comes back, great. Then start scanning your body again, right? But again, it's not so important that we change anything. We're not trying to make the pain go away. We're not trying to make the distraction going away. What we're trying to do is be with that quality of steadfast compassion. Cool. Questions, comments, concerns? Sweet. All right. So if you want to find a comfortable posture, either sitting, cross-legged if you're on the ground, or with your feet flat on the floor if you're in a chair. You can rest your hands in your lap or on your knees, whatever is comfortable. You want to try and keep your spine just gently straight. Not too tight, not too loose. I like to think relaxed and awake. If you want to close your eyes, you can. Or you can gently rest your gaze a few feet in front of you. So first thing you're going to do is just call to mind your breathing. Just notice that gentle coming and going of the breath. The body receiving the oxygen it needs, releasing what it doesn't. The breath is deep, let it be deep. If it's shallow, let it be shallow. We're just here to witness, to be with. Now you might turn your attention to the top of your head. A little crown at the very tip top of your skull. You can let your awareness cascade down, noticing what's happening, sensations in your forehead, in your scalp. Going down through your eyebrows, down through your head. As you keep going down, I want you to notice whatever sensations with a sense of compassion. Wherever you might notice tension in your body, even if it's just the slightest discomfort, can you turn towards it? Not trying to change it, not trying to make it go away. Just like this angelic child, putting your arm around it. I'm here for you. I can see your pain, and I'm not going anywhere. You might get curious about the discomfort. Ask it questions. Where does this come from? What do you need? Just noticing what naturally arises in you as you unwaveringly be with this discomfort. You can keep scanning your body if that feels right. Or you can also turn towards your heart or your mind. What are you carrying with you today? Is there any emotion or a thought that you might turn towards with this sense of steadfast compassion. Again, we're not trying to change it. We're not trying to make it go away. Simply witness. Maybe offering a comforting gesture. For some people, it might be helpful to put your hands on your chest or your heart. I'm here with you. I'm not going anywhere. Notice what arises when you be with that pain and you stay with it. If it's a sense of compassion, wonderful. Sink into that. If it's a sense of wanting to help, great. Sink into that. If it's a sense of, I have no idea what to do, but I'm not going to leave you. Sink into that. Now, before we close out our meditation, I invite you to take a big, deep breath in. Filling up through your nose, holding at the top, and let it out. Again, breathing in through your nose, holding at the top, and let it out. Now, while I ring the bell, you can simply rest. Let whatever's happening in your system simply be. If your eyes were closed, you can gently open them. And give yourself a little shake side to side if that's helpful. A little wiggle, a little twist. Yeah, feel free to uncross your legs, whatever's comfortable for you. So one of the best ways, I think, to develop your meditation practice is to listen to other people and to talk about it. Talk about what you experienced, hear other people with what they experienced, because you would be surprised how similar your experience might be. So how was that for people? What came up?
Today at work, I was making simple mistakes. And I think it's because I've got a lot on my plate. Simple, very common sense mistakes.
Sure.
And so I just looked at that and looked at the plate and back and said, okay, I'm here. The plate's back.
Sure.
We'll just be in the same room for a little bit.
Mm.
It was awkward.
Yeah, yeah. Why was it awkward?
I think I gravitate to the tendency to want to change and or help. And so kind of being there
Sure.
in a just stable capacity.
Mm.
But without the, there's no amendment involved. It's just.
Yeah. And how was that when you maintained that posture for a little bit longer?
I wish I could say it got better. It was just about awkward the whole time.
Stayed pretty awkward. Yeah.
Progress of the story.
Sure.
The hurdle jump was I'm looking at the plate and the person carrying the plate.
Yeah. Well, that feeling, that wanting to help, that is compassion, right? Empathy is to feel another's pain. Compassion is to want to do something about it, right? So probably means you have a big heart, and that's a very good thing. And I think there's always a lot to be learned in being with something rather than trying to fix it. I don't know if maybe this is just a me thing, but sometimes in a conversation, somebody just wants to be heard, right? They don't want to be fixed. They don't want to be manipulated or, they're not looking for answers. They're just looking for a shoulder, right? So anyway, great practice. Anybody else? Stuff that came up.
I take it pretty literally, to begin with, as far as sort of, scanning the body and then feeling where I felt my tension. And, I've got a thing where my right shoulder meets my neck. Something's definitely going on there.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that sort of nerve, something going on. But I'll get a little tingly in my fingers sometimes. And when I sit. But I'm finding, and then I continue down into my legs, and I'm new to this, and so I'm just working on my posture and improving my ability to sit for longer periods of time. And so I still feel a lot down in there, and I'm just working on opening all those things up down there. I'm doing some different exercises as far as just helping with that as well. But I feel it, and just like allowing myself to relax, and but I was feeling it in my neck, and then all in my knees, and everywhere down here where I'm trying to get better. And just sort of, like you said, just focusing in, going toward it. And funnily enough, of course, I loosened up as I was getting deeper into it. And one of the things I had a hard time with, lost quite a bit of weight, like probably 50 pounds. So, but I spent my whole life sucking it in. I remember my dad teaching me, suck it in, when I was young, skinnier.
Mm.
And I've really been doing that my whole life. And so one of the things with meditation, we talk about, let the stomach out and get moved forward. And even though I'm skinny now, it feels weird to let it out. And I don't want to, though. I want to let those organs have their space and all of that. I want to, but it's one of those things. But eventually I found this sort of posture where I was more comfortable. I was letting it hang out. And then, of course, my shoulder started feeling better, sort of going to more of like the pain went to more sort of a numbness or a tingling. And my legs, I was able to focus on relaxing those a bit. And, then sitting through the entire meditation in the posture, which was, good too.
Yeah.
So I focused on that. But then towards the end, when you were talking about, what compassion was or sort of, saying things about how you're going to be there. And then it started sort of going more into like relationship stuff for me. And that last one about, I have no idea what to do, but, I'm not going anywhere, something along those lines.
Yeah.
I was like, I could relate to that one. So, I went from like the body into the mind a little bit, into the relationship towards the end.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. Yeah.
Most of the Tibetan meditations that I'm familiar with, very involved. So, when you're like, okay, so we're not going to do this 5 things, we're not going to do the this and the that and the that, and it's like, oh, shit. that's what I'm familiar with, but that's also sometimes what helps. What I'm basically trying to say is when you don't have any of those things, it's some of the most humbling meditations that I personally experience, where there isn't any breath work, there isn't anything to do except for just be with the thing. That was really humbling for me. And even though I'm like, I'm doing very good, but I'm like tired, so I'm like calling on like the bloody cheeks of mine a couple of times, like this will help with the compassion with yourself right now. Like I'm getting distracted and I need compassion for that one. And it was like a cycle, but but yeah, just some of the most humbling meditation experiences always when they're going back to like some origin point with meditation for me. So
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm sure you're not alone in this. There's so many different styles of meditation. And it's very true that, you can look at these like Tibetan paintings up here, right? They're so ornate. And that's often like when you're doing a mandala meditation, or there's one form of Tonglen where you envision the person in front of you, and with every in-breath, you breathe in their pain, and with every out-breath, you breathe out some sort of comfort, right? And you get in a very virtuous cycle like that. And it can become like black smoke and light and all of these different visualizations. And for some people, that's so helpful, right? I like to think of them as like handholds for experience, right? It just gives you to something when your mind starts to drift. You're like, oh, right, in-breath. Right. Oh, right. Out breath. They're like, oh, right. Smoke. All right. Light. It's something for you, for your mind to sort of hold on to. And I don't know if anybody practices in Zen, but in the Zen tradition, we have this practice called shikantaza, which means literally just sitting. That's it. That's the whole instruction, right? Which sometimes is way harder, right? And so today, we're playing around with what does it mean to just be with the difficult thing? No visualization necessary, no like cultivate this, just notice what happens when you unwaveringly, I'm here for you. Cool. Anybody else? Yeah.
I have a broken foot right now.
Sorry.
Most of the way healing.
Okay.
While I was going through this meditation, I was kind of thinking like, oh, it's really nice to have taken care of my body enough to get to that point of healing. And something I struggle with, and maybe I'm getting a little bit better now through practice and meditation. But if something bad happens to me, I'm quick to
say I deserve this to have happened. It's because I did something wrong.
Sure.
So just practicing mindful compassion towards myself is really nice and useful.
Yeah, amazing. And you are not alone. That second arrow, right? It's like we have the pain of the foot, and then there's the second pain of like, oh, well, you deserve this, or whatever story you're piling on top of that, right? You know what I mean by second arrow? Does that ring a bell for you at all? Buddha had this story where he was, somebody's wounded by an arrow, right? And he said, before we take out the first arrow, please don't shoot another one, right? We just got to worry about your foot right now. We don't need to shoot another arrow about whether you deserve it or not. You know, it's all story on top of it, right? So we often call that the second arrow, right? The story that we layer on top of the original pain, right? Anyway, I'm so glad to hear that you had a moment of that self-compassion. And that's the last thing before we drop back in again. Compassion always starts with yourself first, right? It's often the hardest for us to do because a lot of us are caregivers, right? It's very easy to like reach out and try and care for others. But if we are not caring for ourselves, then that's always going to be an unbalanced relationship. So I'm so glad that you took that moment for yourself. Cool. So yeah, what I'd love for us to do is just drop back in for a little while, and we'll just start to cycle through. And we'll start again with the body. We'll go to the mind. And then I'm going to have us start bringing in other people. And I'll explain that as we go along. But if at any point you are just feeling it, you're like, oh man, my foot and me, we're having a moment right now. I'm just really feeling compassion towards my foot. Great, stay there. No need to keep going. There's no points for like getting to anywhere in this meditation. So, great. So find your posture again. And feet flat on the ground, or legs crossed beneath you. Your spine is in a natural alignment with gravity. You might even rock forward and back gently or side to side. Just notice where that neutral position is for you. You close your eyes or leave them open and gently cast your gaze a few feet in front of you. Notice your breathing. Deep or shallow, long or short. Noticing how the body knows exactly what it needs. You might start to scan your body again. From the top of your head, down through your face and shoulders, neck. Down through your arms and your torso, down through your legs. See if you notice anywhere where there's tension or pain. And see if you can turn towards that. Gently. The sense of curiosity, compassion. You might say something to the pain or the tension like, I'm here for you. I see you. I know that you're hurting. I'm not going anywhere. You might notice how the pain changes. Maybe it gets bigger or smaller. Maybe it swells, maybe it shifts. Maybe you find something underneath it. You don't have to change it. You don't have to make it go away. Your only job is to be with it. I'm not going anywhere. If your mind wanders, that's totally fine. Remember, that's just kind of what the mind does. You might turn that compassionate gaze towards the mind, towards the wandering. I'm here with you. I'm not going anywhere. And you might keep scanning through your body. Is there anything to attend to? If there's something in your body that's holding your attention, great. Stay there with that. Really sinking into that feeling of compassion, of unwaveringness. If you're not finding anything in your body, or your body feels pretty good right now, see if there's anything in your heart or your mind. Maybe something you've been struggling with, or a difficult memory. Allow it to come to mind, to come to the forefront of your experience. And again, see if you can be with it without turning away. I see how hard this is for you. I hear you. I'm not going anywhere. And then once you've been with it for a little while, and it feels like there might be an urge to comfort or to help, allow that to happen. Remember, your one task is to be with it. But if what happens next, so you give it a hug or you support yourself in some way, some gesture, some form, that's totally fine. That's compassion in action. Now, if it feels right, you don't have to. If you want to stay with whatever you're doing right now, that's fine too. But if it feels right, you might imagine somebody in front of you. a good friend, somebody you find easy to love, family member, colleague. Somebody you know is going through a bit of a hard time. See them with as much vivid detail as possible. What's happening in their face? What's their posture like? What are they wearing? And as you call them on these details, also think about what it is that they're struggling with. Maybe their circumstance, difficult emotion, physical pain, whatever it is. Can you be with them in that? Can you get curious about what it is that they're feeling? To really open up your heart to all the complexities of what it is that they're going through. Again, it might be helpful to offer, I'm here with you. I see what you're going through. I know how much you're hurting. And I'm not going anywhere. You might extend a gesture to this person. Maybe it's a hug. Maybe it's a hand on the shoulder. Whatever you think would be helpful for them in this moment. With your final few breaths here in this meditation, if you're feeling any sort of want or desire to comfort them, allow that to flow naturally. Imagining that gesture, the hug, the hand, whatever it is actually soothing them, supporting them, helping them. I invite you to drop the meditation entirely and simply rest. If your eyes were closed, you can gently open them. Come back to the space. Give yourself a little shake, a little wiggle. If that feels right. And yeah, I'm going to have us dedicate the merit in a second, which is a Tibetan practice. But anybody have anything they want to say before we close out this little crew? Well, thank you so much for practicing with me tonight, with each other. If you feel inclined, you can follow along. If you don't, that's okay. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and the cause of suffering. May all sentient beings find real peace, real happiness. May all sentient beings never be separated from the awareness that is completely devoid of suffering. And may all sentient beings rest in boundless equanimity. May the practice we did tonight and in all future nights benefit ourselves and all sentient beings. Thank you all. Thanks for showing up online, anybody.